Hello, Chipsters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I'm vainly trying to stop this camera from falling off the edge of the desk. Usual lack of space. Yeah, these are my 2mm Ancients project. They are ancient Britons, or any form of ancients you want, really. It could be Batavia, Germania, Gaul, you name it. Was it Belgica or Belgia? I can't remember how it's pronounced. But anyone you want to. I'm just vaguely going around a Boudican Revolt theme. So as you can see, these are slightly more structured. So they may not be ancient Britons. They are in fact Roman auxiliaries. But we'll deal with these first. I like to put little splodges of paint in. These are metal. I mean, you can make your own. I mean, let's face it, these are 2mm. Do you dig the little faces? No, I didn't do the eyes. Yeah, I put different colours in just as if you were on, like, because that's how these bases come alive, really, is when you're looking down at them like that. But I like to put a bit of scenery around them. It's a bit hard on some of these because you would have known, particularly the Romans, but even a tribal army, it needs an area to manoeuvre out onto to get formed up. But particularly the Romans, obviously the way they fought. And I mean, it was like when the Spartacus revolt was happening. Sometimes it could be days following each other, and especially the like Caesar's fights against Pompey and Brutus, and that they would literally move in opposite each other for days until they decided, both more or less decided that yes, this is a nice piece of ground. We can both fit our armies on properly, and we can have a big bust up. So I didn't want to put a load of trees around, a load of rocks, because I thought, well, realistically, the Romans would have probably had a position where they could form up on. Yeah, these are after. There's all the thing of there was when I was younger, like it was always hinted at that or they were in the artworks and stuff, that cohorts were always green, and the legions were always red. I mean, nowadays a lot of people do their legionaries in just white cotton. You pay your money, you take your choice, really. But I've gone with the older look of, they were in green. I don't think there really is any massive evidence that they were in green, but if you know of any, as they always say, put them in the comments below. So I'll just put them a green, just so they stay differently. I haven't got any legionaries yet. My own personal favourite, I always mention, is 20th Valeria Victrix. Now, I don't know, though, if the 20th were in, I said the UK as it was, but we're here. I don't know if they were here during the Boudican Revolt or not, but I believe they may have been. But that's my favourite Roman legion of all time. They were in here until they were literally the dying days of the Western Empire, and they were called back to Rome. More or less looking like a bunch of tribesmen. They'd long gone with all the fancy uniforms, particularly. Anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I? so yeah, these are auxiliary cohorts. So these are taken from tribal levies on the whole, either en masse or singly recruited, but often en masse from a particular area. I mean, Hadrian's Wall has got stones erected that part of it was built, like say, such and such cohort of Batavians, so the Netherlands, you name it. What they didn't very often have their auxiliary units serving in the same place that they were raised in, because you could get something like what happened with Calcresi, was it the when they were all massacred in the forest, in the Black Forest? Was it the Black Forest even? But Varus's expedition, when the particularly mounted cohorts, I believe, turned on him. Anyway, so they would come from all parts of the empire, places like North Africa, anywhere really where they decided to bring him in from, and sometimes they would be for particular reasons, like mounted troops. It could be particularly because they were well known for being archers, so they'd be brought as a cohort of archers in. But yeah, so these are my auxiliaries. Just keeping it to this number at the moment because the next ones will be legionaries. And the cavalry, they did have, like I've just said, they had their auxiliary cavalry units, but they also had, and I'm really sorry, I've got a fair few Roman army books, and unfortunately they're all on my bottom shelf, and I've done my knee in. I just can't get down. An old army injury. Ligaments gone. Anyway, you didn't need to know that. But yeah, so I can't give you the blooming name, but the Roman legionaries would have a certain amount of mounted men, and like raised from their own cohorts and put in a mounted arm, and they tended to be used for more like running dispatches, but also then for reconnaissance around the legion, when it was in the field. And then when it comes to a pitched battle, they'd quite often be put into ad hoc cavalry units. The Roman cavalry was never known to be particularly effective. Again, all the Roman, the red hot Roman people out there going, "Oh, a lot of rubbish." Probably is, but it wasn't as effective as, I don't believe, as their infantry anyway. But yeah, usual sand, just sand. So I did try somewhere I'd put my sand and gravel mix in that I used for my larger ones. I found that was a bit overpowering for these smaller little fellas at 2 mil. So it's just sand and just sand with painted on, dry brushed over with whichever I like to use, deck tan. That's a nice one to give you a fairly mild look. And occasionally I might go over with this like silver grey to give it another height, the last highlight in places. The rocks are just cork, which in this case were cork floor tiles that I'd bought, and it's been using them up for years. They do give you a flat look, so you do sometimes have to mount a few extra bits on if you want to make them, a bit more rough looking. But these do well enough. Again, dry brushed with whatever colour of your choice. I did do a little brook stream here. Forgetting these haven't been varnished, by the way, so they might be a bit shinier than they will be when I put the varnish on them. But I've got some AK puddle effects, and I just thought, well, I've never used it. I'll just try it on this bit here, and it looks to go all right. I'm going to lose the effect of it, so I'll probably have to reapply it once I've done the varnish over the top to protect them. And I've still got to paint the sides. I usually paint the sides of my bases black, but it's I can't remember it's done by the Two Fat Ladies. I just can't remember the name of the blooming rule set. But the bases come from that. You can get them from. I'll get these from war bases when I'm buying other bases for my normal figures. I usually buy a few of these and just stick them in my drawer and wait till I've got time to paint them, because they're not massively expensive. I mean, after all, they are 2 mils. But with these, as I've said before, you're going for that top-down look, if that makes sense. They're not made to be anything massively special. You don't have to go to all the trouble I've done. You could just paint them all silver or bronze. I do loads of little dots. It takes forever with the little helmet colours in it. But yeah, so I must have about 5 or 6 of these ancients now. I just call them ancients, it's just easier. I've got some. I might need a couple more because I think I've got a couple of chariot bases, and I'm now going to go on to the legions. I don't think I'll do any more cavalry. Again, you could use them for both sides. I don't think I'll do any more cavalry at the moment. As far as I'm aware, Boudica's army, for what it was, or mob really, of different tribes, I doubt they had a great deal of cavalry. It was more chariot for that. If you weren't on foot, it was chariots with the elites. So you don't need a lot of them. Might need another auxiliary cohort or 2 at some point, but I think it's just the Roman legions now, and it just depends how much. I might just go for 1 legion at the moment. We'll just see how it goes. So yeah, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. It's just you know me, I just do these on and off when I've got them in the drawer, and then I get them out. I mean, these themselves must have taken about 3 months. It's just doing little bits, put them back in the drawer, have another go. Um, it's just one of those slow burners that I'm doing. I mean, you could cover this all in grass. This is just that. It's the woodland scenic stuff. It's obviously not static grass, and I find with 2 mil it works better for me. If you did static grass, it'd be looking like they were going through elephant grass in Vietnam. So yeah, it just gives an effect. And I've got some other terrain to make. I've got some material to make some cornfields, and I've got a towel that I'd seen. I think it was on the Two Fat Ladies when they were pushing the rule set, and I might be wrong. And they made a little orchards and stuff. So yeah, all that to come. I'll just do this as I fancy doing it. And I will get the rules, and I will try and have a game. And if my memory problems really play up and I can't do it, then I'll just sell them all as I always do. But hopefully not. I did fancy, they don't take a lot of room up. If you put them on little thingies, you can stack them high, so they don't, as you can see, they don't take up a lot of room. So yeah, we've got some cornfields to come. Going to make a couple of marshes probably. Some roads, obviously more little fellas, legionaries and stuff. But and I'd like to make a small town, little vicus, which is the vicus is where the legionaries, once they were demobbed, and they would often settle rather than going back to, if you were a Roman legionary, going back to say Rome, because or your province where you're from, they would often set up home, local with local women and whatever. So called a vicus, and several were flattened and burnt out under the Boudican Revolt. So yeah, I've got to make one of them really. You can buy them. I think they were out of stock at the time, because they've got obviously little printed ones. I take it, but I might well just knock a few up out of a few cubes of whatever. I did make that little farm. That wasn't the word I was after. Sorry, guys. It's head problems. Memory just goes in and out. I can't remember stuff, which is really annoying. So anyway, you look after yourselves. Thanks for listening to this ramble. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. People aren't massively into Rome or the Boudican Revolt, and even lesser into 2mm figures. But hey, I enjoy doing them. So look after yourselves. Thanks for stopping by. You're always appreciated by me, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.